We are seeing some positive signs out of Shanghai and Beijing. Of course, a slew of 50 different measures across 8 different categories to try and, I guess, undo some of the economic damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very different picture to what we saw last week, even when cases were so persistent in Beijing. It was looking like a lockdown was still a risk. You have seen this slew of economic measures, factories that, all factories basically are allowed to reopen from June, not just those on the white list. They're introducing some subsidies for manufacturing and industries to get back moving again. They're also changing the testing system a little bit around the edges. You now only need a negative test 48 hours before going to a public place rather than 72. So it does show they're cognizant of the disruptions that this has been causing, and they are, I guess, trying to do something about it until the next outbreak.
So what changed from last week, Emma? Is this just COVID cases falling, or is it also the government wanting to relax some of that COVID-0 policy?
Look, I think it's a combination of the COVID case load pressure definitely is easing, but also a real understanding that they are causing disruption to the economy and they are causing sort of very high-level disruption to people's lives, and that they need to sort of amend for that and deal with it if they are going to continue with COVID-0, which is very much their intention if you take their public rhetoric. You have seen cases coming down in Beijing, which was looking quite dicey last week, particularly this time last week. We'd come off nearly 100 new cases, but for the same time for Saturday this week, we've only seen 12 new cases, and they're saying they're not seeing new cases in the community. So that is a positive sign, and they are easing things in Beijing in some districts. Some people can go back to work. There were work from home orders across most of the districts there. They're reopening some of the public transportation, and access to shopping malls, grocery stores in some areas will be eased.
What do we glean from what we know about how the leadership is viewing this? Because there was this idea that perhaps there is a disconnect or a disagreement between Li Keqiang and how Xi Jinping wants to handle this.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to tell. I think at the end of the day, Xi Jinping's word will prevail, and that we will see a continuation of COVID-0 at least until the Party Congress in October, that they will stomach the disruption, tinkering around the edges with these sorts of subsidies and policies. But at the end of the day, they've staked a lot rhetorically and ideologically on COVID-0, and the fact that it does produce a lower death rate than places like the US. And that's something they want to bank on going into that Party Congress.